Naturally, with something like cloud computing, there are some inherent risks, there are some inherent challenges that come. The most common risk that we still foresee and we still observe from our industry, financial leaders and financial professionals, is the lack of skilled manpower. This is not a very commonly available technology when it comes to available resources. So when these financial professionals are trying to hire, let's say, their accountant or their procurement teams, they realize most of them are not only not conversant with this technology, they are rather averse, and that is becoming a bit of a bottleneck for some of the industry leaders. Cloud computing industry, software industry like us, we are doing a lot in educating the industry, in educating the ecosystem about how safe, how reliable, and how controlled cloud computing really is. The other big challenge or the risk is still around data residency. There's many industries in the region and there are many companies in the region who still don't want the data to leave the country's boundary or the region's boundary. For legislative purposes or for internal control purposes or for retrieval purposes, they still want it to be within the bounds of the GCC, if not in a specific country within GCC as well. To address this, again, a lot of local players and a lot of international players have recognized this challenge and this opportunity for the industry, and they have announced in recent past lots of data centers from big public cloud players to be opening up in 2018 and 2019 in the wider region as well. So cloud computing industry is addressing both the key risks that the financial professionals and the industry threw at them, and we are very hopeful and positive that sooner than later it will become an industry norm than an optional thing when it comes to cloud computing. You can even look at certain industries like a Federal Tax Authority. Federal Tax Authority has already made the keeping of the data for 5 years a minimum requirement. If you're using something like cloud computing, it's very cost effective, it's very easy and very maintainable to keep on storing this data in a retrievable format. If a tax audit happens, you can literally give the access to the tax auditor to your cloud server and they can retrieve it. Imagine not using it and then having hundreds and thousands of files at best stored in a data center which is your own and then trying to maintain it. The risk is just too high when you compare cloud computing to on-prem computing. Eventually, where the industry is going, you can see most of these reports, regulatory reports including VAT return, VAT audit file, would ideally be filed online using the cloud storages rather than the on-prem storages, because more often than not it's possible that the tax authorities will not open their data centers, their applications to thousands of different applications which are on premises, which are hosted locally. They'll rather convert it most to a cloud data center. So in a nutshell, cloud computing is not really where you do computing, it is how you do computing. It's a big wave of change and financial professionals are mostly embracing it, and I think this is the right time for anybody who had any doubts about the cloud computing to come and talk to the industry experts. The industry has all the right answers to enable the financial professionals to take this forward.